Student borrowing has been accepted to be the solution, one of the solutions where if it is affordable and the state government is able to repay, look at its finances and do a good job, we can go into a project. And of course the route of the public-private partnerships where the government is not abdicating its responsibility, but it's also not saying that it knows everything. It can take the help of the local citizens and bring in private people to help in its ideas as to go about. So using these fiscal objectives that are there, I have some options to share with you. You are free to do your own choices and come up and tell us whether you agree with these choices or you would act otherwise, and would you have any other choice which you think can be suggested. I mean, of course, these are not put in stone or anything, so it's an easy kind of thing. What I have done is, I assume that I have 4,200 crores with me, which the government will borrow. The economy will grow at 9%. I am within the fiscal deficit of 3.5%, and I get the interest in around 9%. That is what I do, and I repay over next 3 years. And I don't assume that I am going to get a payment back on the services on which I have allocated immediately. I mean, the flow back or in terms of the capital receipts that I get from these would come after a period of time. So in the short run, I am not expecting any return from any of the allocations, and I think that's a fair view where I expect the government to spend for the citizen in times of need. I mean, that is the view. So what is the first one that I am looking at? A basic simple concept of 3 E's where I am looking at education, environment and energy. Considering that we have one of the fragile ecology in West. Karnataka in fact is one of the only states where you can find a range of agroclimatic zones. You have we have the Hatti gold mines, we have a kind of a desert-like situation in Bidar where we have camels, we have the highest falls, Jog Falls, we have salubrious climate here, and I mean you can find a range of climatic conditions only in a state which I understand is as small as the country of Finland. I mean, that is the comparison that we were studying when we were students in geography. So Karnataka has a responsibility towards the environment with respect to its coastal regions and the Western Ghats, which sure all of us are proud of. So I am looking at that we have, we protect our environment, we become more energy conscious. Where of course we are talking of the allocations to be made towards non-conventional energy sources in terms of our biomass or solar. Definitely in the last few days we have seen BESCOM asking that from now on whichever new house comes up in the city will have to have a solar heater installed. Be rain water harvesting should be done and should be friendly towards the climate. So that is what I am looking at. So what does this entail then? It shows that even with a rearrangement of that, the proportion of money that we spend on our economic services will be higher than we spend on our social services, that is with respect to education, health, water supply and sanitation. The next one that I have is with respect to improving the connectivity, where I say that we actually spend our money on improving the infrastructure that we have with respect to our transport systems in the state, because we still have a large number of districts which are not really centrally well connected to the capital, so to say. In fact, Bangalore rural itself, it is interesting to know that it's an arc around the city of Bangalore, and when we used to do our field trips in Bangalore rural district, many times when going from one taluka to another, you are forced to come back to Bangalore and then go to the next taluka. You can't really cut across the various talukas because there is no road. So a car would not travel, you can't travel either through a jeep or a car sometimes when we were going for field work, and even bus services were rare, so they would say come back to Majestic and catch the next bus. So that is the kind of thing. So connectivity is a prominent thing and we should look at it. So we spend money on transport sector, do a better job of that, rural development, and of course the urban development. By urban development, I am here looking at what is the Pura model, in the sense providing the urban amenities in the rural areas. And that's one way where we can arrest the migration of people from the rural, the hinterland to the capital city, considering the skewed development that we have had in many cases in terms of the Bangalore being a growth center while the others being lagging behind in many of the amenities. So that's again. But here again, the proportion of economic services will be higher than with respect to the social services. The third option that I have is with respect to trying to revive the rural economy through